Nick to the plus. What day is it? I think it's Tuesday. They're all coming together with me. So, what are y'all up to? How y'all doing out there? What's up? So I'm on here to tell you about the real problems, right? Nobody seems to really be talking about them. Like, so there's the news and the government. The news, you know, it's just, you know, hype and, you know, what'll get views, and they have scripted stuff, and I don't really think they know what they're talking about, right? They're just talking about what's hot, right? So, you know, they talk about the virus and the vaccines and social distancing, which is all great. Yeah, we're all in it, right? We all know what's going on, right? You know, and the social distancing's okay, but how long can we really do that, right? What are the long-term effects with, when we actually do come back together? Is there gonna be a resurgence? Is there gonna be reinfection? You know, nobody really knows, but what are the long-term effects economically, psychologically, right? So the government, they're doing politics, they're doing posturing, right? Obama endorses Biden, right? But, you know, why don't y'all talk about the problems instead of doing normal posturing and stuff like that? Screw politics, man. Okay? And, you know, they're just pointing fingers, you know, China did this, this did this, we weren't ready, whatever, you know, everybody was with their pants down, you know. I've seen this coming for 2-3 years. I've been trying to have a conversation about these topics and stuff. No one listened, right? So, okay, so, also, you know, psychologically, socially, what are the long-term effects of what we're going through right now, you know? Are we going to be afraid to hug, high five, get closer than 6 feet together? You know, what are the effects, you know? All these things are going to start dominoes that could be way worse than a virus, right? So, okay, so I'm going to say right now, you know, share this. I'm going to run for president because they ain't giving us good choices. It's just crap, right? So Trump, he lies, he's unreal, he doesn't go off facts, he goes off of reactions, right? Biden's brain is broken, right? So I'm just asking, why don't they give us good choices, good people that are good and smart, you know. I'll you know, write in my name when you go vote. The other people I would go for was Joe Rogan, Rich Roll, Steven Ritz, Zach Bush. You know, come on guys, let's get in the arena, let's make some change, right? So who else is going to come? Just write your name in there. You know, everybody write their name in when you go vote, right? We'll all be president. How about that, right? Give us some good choices, right? So I'm here to talk about the real problems. This is just one topic. Okay, this is your brain on Nick to the plus, right? This is how I work. You know, come on in. Let's see what's on there, right? So, okay, so this is just one topic. But beyond the virus, beyond vaccines, I want to talk health. The more health we have, the less sickness we have. We've survived for 60 million years. We've only had medicine for about 100 of those. So 100 years and 60 million is like that. Like, that's it, right? I mean, really, medicine hasn't had a whole big impact on the evolution of the human race, right? So, okay, so food is medicine. I'm getting old, I'm tired. Okay. Hypocrites, right? Hippocrates, however you want to say it. Say food is medicine, right? My recommendations, we'll start off with what to do, right? Eat 2 servings of the 5 colors every day, fruits and vegetables. I'm not saying everybody has to turn vegan. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying add more fruits and vegetables to your diet, right? 5 colors, 2 servings. Get all your phytonutrients. If you have a problem with that, if you don't like fruits and vegetables, if you don't get enough, come see me. I'll help you out, right? They have antioxidants. You also want to get fiber, right? So most of the food that we eat, the SAD diet, standard American diet, has no phytonutrients, no fiber in it, so that we don't have good gut health, right? So get enough H2O, hydration. So those are my easy recommendations. Go do that tomorrow, right? 5 colors, 2 servings of each color. Get your phytonutrients, antioxidants. Get your fiber, stuff that's gonna clean out your gut, and that's very big attributed to health. And H2O, right? So 3 million kids under 5 die of hunger every year. That's a lot more than that are dying from the virus right now, right? And that's not worldwide. That's just the U.S. 3 million kids under 5. How many of you have a kid? How many have a kid under 5? Can you imagine them dying of hunger? Pretty sad. That's a bigger problem than we're dealing with right now. 70 million people are obese in the U.S. 300,000 deaths a year are attributed to obesity. There's probably way more than that, but that's the number I got from Google, right? So, okay, let's start with farms, right? So, food, farms, we grow our food. You know, the sun has energy. Plants produce energy through the process, and you know, it makes all of the food. Plants make all of the food on our planet, right? If we didn't have plants, if we didn't have the sun, plants, no food, right? Don't argue that, okay? So half of our fruit comes from foreign produce. 1/3 of our vegetables comes from foreign produce. What does that mean? That half and 1/3 of our food comes from overseas, and we don't grow our own food. We eat the food from foreign people. If we get in a war, if we get in an argument, what's going to happen to that food? A lot less food. We're not an independent state. We are dependent, right? Okay? It's not a good, that's a big problem. That's a lot bigger problem than we're dealing with right now, okay? Okay, so another thing is monocrops, GMO Roundup, right? So just down the street right here, I go run every day. I drive by it every day. I drove today from Seguin to San Marcos. Fields and fields and fields of corn, right? So this field right down the road, I drive by it, and I shot a video of it a couple months ago. Dead soil. I had Mathis dig up the soil. No worms. It sat there for 4 months with no cover crops. Dead soil. Okay, so remember, the sun, the plants make energy, make food. There has to be nutrients in the soil, right? The farm right down the street, monocrop, corn, every year after year after year, the soil is dead, right? So that food is dead, right? It's produced. Where is it? Let's see. Where did I put it? Where'd it go? Something like 80%, yeah, so 80 to 90% of the food we grow in the United States from plants goes to animals, right? And so, let's back up. What did I just say? Dead soil, monocropping, no cover crops, dead soil, for 80 to 90% of it is grown, goes to animals. So it's dead food that's going to animals that we eat. We'll go get to the animals next, right? So just remember that. Dead soil, monocrop, chemical food, dead food is going to animals that we eat. Okay, get that point. So GMO and Roundup, right? So there's, I think, 30 to 50,000 lawsuits right now to Monsanto and Bayer. Bayer bought Monsanto to try to cover up 30 to 50,000 lawsuits to those two companies for GMO Roundup, right? Look it up. Look up Farmer's Footprint. Zach Bush doing a lot of work towards that, right? So it's not good. Chemical farming, dead food, yeah. So what's happened over the past 50 years or so, you know, farmers that have grown up, you know, their great-grandparents, grandparents, parents all had a farm, right? And for the past few generations, they've been stuck in these leases, in these agreements, in these contracts with GMO, corporate farming, right? So, okay, you have land, we'll give you this and that, and you have this loan to have this machinery and to get this seed, and you're gonna grow a lot of fruits and vegetables with our seeds, and it's gonna increase your yield, and nobody really talks to each other. But the fact is, since they introduced GMO in 1996, crop yield has gone down with GMO. The farmers don't talk to each other. They want to be proud. They don't talk to each other. They don't talk about these numbers, what's going on, right? So they're basically modern indentured servants, our farmers. The people that grow our food, generations that have been doing it, are indentured servants. That's not good, right? That's a big problem. So I've already named like 3 or 4 much bigger problems than what's going on right now with the virus, right? So if you're in indentured servitude and you have generations that have farmed from you and you want to live up to that legacy and your crop yield is going down, what's going on in your head, right? So guess what? The people that grow our food, our farmers, my great uncle is a farmer, and maybe later on I'll interview him, but suicide is the highest in the farming industry. Look it up, right? So farmers have the highest suicide rate in all industries because they're modern indentured servants. They have to use these chemicals. Their crop yield is down. They're not upholding their legacy. All that stuff. So it's not good. All these are really, really, really big problems with our food, right? So that's a lot of death. That's death connected to food that we eat, right? So I don't think death should be connected to food, because food is growth, food is energy, food is nutrition, not death, okay? You get that? Okay, tell me if you understand. Give me some heads up or say something, right? All right. So let me tell you about organic. Then we get into organic, right? We have the section in the grocery, the produce, the organic. Oh, we're going to buy organic, right? And so a lot of people think it's more expensive. It's not that much more expensive. But I've learned, and you can look this up, what is the process to be certified organic? All right, so basically, you fill out a form, you send it in, send some money, and maybe, just maybe, one of the busy federal workers will come and check, maybe, right? So, you might say, okay, I'm not using any chemicals in my farming process, but my neighbor has a big ass plane the crop does, and there's a big ass wind, and it comes over to my field, and there's a big ass rain, and his dead soil that's been eroded, that's dead, it's dead, and comes over because I'm downhill from my neighbor. All that chemical comes in, and so when you fill out the form, you pay money, turn it into the government. You're organic, but you know, you still have chemicals in your food, right? So just trying to educate you. You can look it up. Don't trust me, right? Okay, so now we get to the good stuff. Okay, I don't know if I should talk. Let me go back to that. Let me finish with that. Okay, so remember, the good things you can do: 5 colors, fruits and vegetables, 2 servings every day, phytonutrients, antioxidants, get more fiber in your diet, get more water, right? Those are what you can do to be hypocrites, food, medicine, right? All right, let's get into processed food, right? So processed food. So processed food is dead food because it's not grown, doesn't have, you know, it has some energy, maybe, but it has a lot more chemicals and stuff like that. Fast food, 85 million of y'all get fast food every day. 85 million of you. And that's not medicine. It's not medicine. Not medicine. Okay. There's chemicals and additives in processed food to make it last longer, to make it taste good. Oh, you know what? And to get you addicted on it. The chemicals and the additives in processed food is designed for it to taste yummy, for you to love it. You get the adrenaline rush to your head. There's a chemical reaction, kind of like crack and cocaine and cigarettes, to make you buy processed food. That's why 85 million of you eat processed food every single day, okay? Okay. A lot of energy here. Okay. Animal protein. Let's get to animal protein, okay? So again, this isn't propaganda to try to get you to go vegan. You know, all I'm saying, eat more colors, eat more fruits and vegetables, more fiber every day, right? Add more to your food every day. Have it snack, throw it in your bag when you go to work, have an apple on the way to work, have a banana, you know, eat your lunch, you know, have more throughout the day, right? So let's get to animal protein. Okay, so there's in the news, factories closing right now because of production's down, because schools are closed, restaurants are closed, all that, right? So factories are closing. A lot of these factories are in foreign countries, and I'm going to get to here real quick, so let's talk about this. So I talked about foreign produce, factories closing, right? Okay, so most of us live in cities, I think. Some of us live in the country, but most of us live in cities, right? Okay, just think about this. This is a really big problem. Really big, okay? Now, tell me, how many of you out there live in a city and you think if these factories closing or foreign food, processed food, doesn't get shipped to your city, how long would your city last? Tell me, someone tell me. Do you have local things in you maybe have a farmer's market, but could it feed the whole city? You have, you know, is there some source inside of the city that could feed the whole city, right? No. It's called what's called a food desert. The majority of the cities that we live in are food deserts because we don't grow our own food. We're dependent on outside sources to truck in our food. You know, trucks go in to the warehouses, go into the grocery, but most of that is foreign and brought in, right? One city cannot sustain itself with food past a day or two, right? Look it up. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know, right? Okay, so food deserts. I'll tell you a story about Kansas, right? We'll go back to farming for a minute. Kansas is one of the biggest farming states. If you live in Kansas, say, hey, what's up, right? Tell me if this is true. Kansas, 90%, 80 to 90% of their farming is for animals, right? Kansas, the whole state, is a food desert. They can't survive without shipments of food, processed food mostly, come in to feed you, right? So it's pretty sad. This is pretty sad stuff. These are big problems, big problems. Okay, animal protein. Okay, so 25 million animals are slaughtered every day. 25 million. Okay, so 850 million of those die before they get to the slaughterhouse per year, right? So 850, can someone sit here and count to 850 million for me? I'll give you a second. Okay, so 850, so 25 million a day animals are slaughtered so we can eat. 850 million of them die before they get to the slaughterhouse, right? Why is that? Why do you think that is? Huh? Why do you think that is? Oh, because they had dead food. They're eating dead food, and they're getting 70% of the antibiotics that are made are given to animals. Why would they give so much antibiotics to animals? Oh, because they're sick and they're eating dead food and they're scrunched up and tortured and all that shit, you know? So they're given hormones, right? Hormones go into milk. Milk is basically like drinking, you know, when you have a pimple and you go like that. A lot of times there's a high level of pus in milk. You're drinking that. So high inflammation. It's been proven the more milk you drink, the women over a certain age get more osteoporosis, right? So it's not a great source of calcium. 30 million cattle are slaughtered every year, 100 million hogs, 200 million turkeys, 8 billion chickens are slaughtered every 8 billion. Right, chicken is the biggest protein. I don't know if you knew that. So, yeah, that's a lot, right? 30 million cattle. So, I don't have this on the board, but this came out of my mind. Some things. This is Nick to the plus mind. So, cattle. Okay, let me tell you a little story, right? So, 50, 100 years ago, whatever, right? Say we have a lot more in this, but we had 100 types of different species of animals. I mean, we have a lot more than that. So today, we have 50, right? So that's a 50% reduction in the amount of species that we have in the world right now, right? Because those have been extinct, right? It's what you call biodiversity. And another talk, I'll talk about the microbiome and microbes and bacteria and all that stuff, right? So basically, you know, me, you, your brother, your dad, we all have a special purpose why we're here, right? A special purpose, a special function. We have ideas, right? Animals have a special function, right? They do something. They eat their food, you know, they reproduce, they play a special function in the biome, their environment that there are, right? So the story is, 50, 100 years ago, whatever it is, we had 100 species of animals. Now we have 50. So that's 50 over the last 50 to 100 years. We've had 50% reduction in the species, the biodiversity of our planet. Okay, right? So we get to cattle. So if you got every cattle, so one of those weigh things like that, and so if you got all the cattle in this side weighing in a bucket, and you had all other species on the planet, including us, so the cows would weigh 2 to 3 times more in mass than all other species on the planet. Okay, that's pretty sad. Same with hogs, that's about the same. So chickens, same thing. Every other bird that's on the planet, chickens outweigh in mass 2 to 3 times. Look it up. That's not the right number, but you get my point. It's basically 3-4 species in our planet outweigh all other species. Whales, I'm talking about whales, humans, elephants, so every other species on the planet would put in this bucket, all the 4 species, it would outweigh way more. Okay, so that's kind of messed up. That's called biodiversity. Look up biodiversity. Biodiversity is another big problem in the earth right now, way bigger than a virus. Okay, so we'll go back to the good stuff. Remember the good stuff? 5 colors, 2 servings every day of each color, phytonutrients, antioxidants, fiber, H2O. This is what food is medicine. This is food medicine, right? Not medicine, processed food, not medicine, animal food, not medicine, okay? There's protein, but there's not phytonutrients, antioxidants, or fiber in animal protein, okay? Not medicine. Okay, so the good stuff, and this is why I want to. So again, if you didn't join us at the start, I'm running for president because they're not giving us good choices. Donald Trump's a liar, unreal. He doesn't follow facts. He's reactive. Biden's brain is broken. So I'm gonna run president because they don't give us good choices. But if I had to pick someone, one of them would be Zach Bush. Introduce me to regenerative agriculture, right? So I talked about monocropping, GMO, Roundup, modern indentured service, suicide. So organic, I told you what organic is. It's basically a certification, a form that you send into the government. They don't check you. Tell me if I'm wrong, I don't know. Okay, so regenerative agriculture. So remember I said go running by the field and the soil is dead? What regenerative agriculture is doing is putting life back into the soil, right? So we have the sun, an endless source of energy. Plants convert that energy into energy that we can consume, right? But the nutrients, all that comes from the soil, right? So the soil has to be alive. It has to have worms in it. The field down here, down the street, doesn't have worms in it. I had Mathis dig up with a shovel, no worms, no cover crop. Soil was dead, right? Regenerative agriculture, look it up. Look up regenerative agriculture. Look up farmer's footprint, kiss the ground, all this stuff. This is very good stuff, right? So this little section right here and this can really fix all this, right? This is the answer to the problems I'm talking about, is regenerative agriculture, nutrients, right? Urban farming. Okay, so remember I said a city couldn't last a day without shipped products of food to sustain it. Most cities are dependent, they're food deserts. They can't sustain themselves. will think, oh, well, Nick the Plus has been shooting videos about his tower garden. You know, right now, that garden can't sustain this household right now, but that's what I'm working towards, right? The best day to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best day is today. I'm planting my tree, my garden, outside my tower garden. If you want to grow food, let me know. I can help you out, right? So think about it. If you grow your own food, or you had a community of 5 or 6 or 10 people, hey, let's go on a community garden and grow our own food. You can even grow your own chickens that are healthy and happy, that don't have hormones or stress or torture, right? Grow your own food, and it's healthier, it's whole. You know where it comes from. Do you know where your food came from that you ate today? Do you know where it came from? Isn't that uncertainty, unconcerning, like stressful to not know where your own food came from, right? You're putting in your body, you're trusting some food that came from a foreign country to put in your body. It's a big problem. Okay, so regenerative agriculture, look it up. Urban farming, hydroponics, grow your own food. Why do you want to grow your own food? Because you grew it. You know, you learned that process. You had that skill. You nurtured those plants. You know that what you put into it, what food you gave it, what the soil was like. It's a stress reducer. I mean, growing a plant's just like a pet, you know? You come attached to it, you breathe on it, you give it carbon dioxide, you pet it, you know, if it's turning yellow or about to die, you check the pH, you check your food, you know, it's a whole process. It's a stress reducer. You have kids, if you've ever had a kid grow their own food, it's the most enlightening thing that you'll ever do in your whole life. Because that's life. Plants are life. Giving to your kid, they grew it, they know where it comes from. That's very, it's comforting and stress reducing for them, right? It's psychological, okay? So I think I've said enough. Again, I'm running for president. Share this, because they don't give us good options. The crap. Politics are crap. You know, the other option, when you go vote, write in your own freaking name. And we'll all be president. And kick these people out that are screwing shit up. I don't know. I'm kind of upset. Are you upset? Stand up. Get out. Get some air. Get some sun. Walk. Get moving. Grow your own food. Stop BSing around, man. We need to get going. Would you agree? Okay. I love y'all. Y'all get out there, grow your own food, get outside, get sun, hydrate, lower your stress, and live to the plus.